Hey, we're getting good at that.
Yeah. Corey Piper and Joe here with you for our Sunday conversations. For the most part, we're going to talk about foods that sound healthy, or like that they're good snacks, but aren't. We ask those of you on our Facebook page to write some of the things that you eat as your go-to snack, and so we just kind of want to talk about those.
Some of them are really good ideas.
Yeah.
I was gonna pull up the post, but before nutrition, we didn't get to the last topic of the last video.
Yeah, the last thing we said we were going to talk about on the video last week was this idea that CrossFit spent so much time telling women that they won't get bulky from CrossFit, which is true, that I think it has had the opposite effect with men.
Yeah.
And that they think that they're instantly going to lose muscle when they come into the gym. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Corey?
Well, there's like this stigma. It's a myth. There's a myth about like weight training versus cardio training, where like if you do your conditioning and your weight in the same, like if you lift weight and do cardio in the same session, you're gonna lose all your gains. I don't know where that myth came from. Even like back in my early bro days when I was lifting, I was like, that's not a thing. Like I don't know a lot, but I know that's not real. So I think that, yeah, like I said, just CrossFit has spent so much time telling people that they're not going to look like games athletes, that there are some people that are like, but I want to look like that, so I guess I can't do that. Mm-hmm. I think, and I would say that the biggest thing with gaining versus losing, cutting versus whatever it is not what you're doing in here, it's what you're putting in your mouth.
And genetics.
Mm-hmm. And there are definitely certain like caveats to that. Like if you are only going out and running long distances, yeah, you're gonna lose muscle. And if you're only lifting heavy weights, like you're probably gonna get kind of thick.
Yeah, I would say, and I wanted to clarify, when thick. Because you won't get fat because muscle burns fat.
Right. Mm-hmm. But you will get thick.
Yeah.
Whether that's good or bad.
Cardiovascular endurance may lower.
Yeah, you're going to be out of breath going up some steps, though. And I've told people, like, I've been 220 doing CrossFit. I've been 180 doing CrossFit. And really the only thing that changed was what I was eating and the amount I was eating.
Yeah. Was your 180 your 75 hard moment?
No, I wasn't. I was a little heavier then. 180 is like when I first started doing
You were
CrossFit.
beefy, very defined muscle lines.
Yeah,
I think one of the other things is
Yeah,
a lot of people spend so much time, not just CrossFit, saying that you can't burn fat and build muscle at the same time.
Erroneous.
Well, and it's both true and false, right? Okay. And so what I mean, in a split second, the lower you take the time frame, the more true that becomes.
Yeah.
So, but what happened is people decided that you needed a different methodology to burn fat and a different methodology to build muscle.
Like you
and that's not what that was ever saying.
Like you're saying, like people think they have to have like one strength day.
Mm-hmm.
Or one strength day, or I need to do bodybuilding to gain muscle, and I need to do cardio or running to lose fat, which I'm sorry, just please don't.
Does not really work.
Like bodybuilding will help you build muscle, but cardio is not how you lose fat. Please, for the love of God, stop believing that.
Yeah, I have like crunch gym friends. We're like, yeah, I'm trying to lose a little bit, so I'm adding in 45 minutes on a treadmill.
Just please, it's good for you.
You're gonna be.
It may help you mentally, but it's just not. It's not gonna burn. It's not gonna burn your fat.
A healthy heart and a higher appetite.
Yeah. Just please stop. Please stop. Build muscle. But I think that whole like you can't build muscle and burn fat at the same time became you need different programs. It's not that. No. What that was talking about is in a very, very short time frame, you can't do both.
Yeah.
But I'll be completely honest, in a month, right? Can you burn fat and build muscle?
Yes.
I know emphatically the answer is yes.
100%
In a week? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You could lean out in a week.
So you have to be careful. This is the same thing we were talking about with nutrition. Like, where are you taking the advice from?
Yeah.
And a statement can be true, but it doesn't mean it applies practically.
Well, it's like, I think we've talked about it before, is like if you look at any study, the study can make it the outcome whatever it wants.
Yeah.
Like 10 out of 10 dentists say that this toothpaste cleans 58,000% better. And they leave it at that, and you're like, oh, wow, that's good toothpaste. But then you find out that the other toothpaste was dog poop.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course it cleans, but like anything can be biased if they want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're trying to get big, adding a little extra lifting, it probably wouldn't hurt you. It'll be fine. That's cool. Yeah.
Also, it probably just helps your psyche.
Yeah, and emotionally, if that's all it takes to help you, like
Placebo effect is real, man.
Placebo effect is
100%
100%
so
real.
real.
If you think that you're getting bigger and stronger, you're gonna get bigger and stronger.
Yep.
To an extent, this like you can't just sit on your couch.
Yeah, you
and be
can't
like,
think you're gonna fly and then go fly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that
do
placebo
not,
effect isn't real.
Yeah,
but-
do not jump off your roof. For all the viewers out there.
Yeah. So, and I can already hear, well, this means if, as a woman, if I come into the gym, I'm gonna get big.
You can get big.
If you are genetically predisposed to being bigger, we've had big girls in here. We've had skinny girls in here. We've had
Short and tall girls in here.
old, young girls in here. It's going to optimize your body type. Can you out-train your body type? Sure. Supplement, and by supplement, I mean testosterone. Because there's not too many supplements that are really otherwise worth it. But you can eat a lot. And yeah, you're gonna get bigger, but you're not gonna become something you weren't. And I know Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say this all the time. People would come up to him and be like, "Oh man, bro, you're so big. That's awesome. That's incredible for you. But I would never want that." And he would always say, "Don't worry, you won't."
Yeah.
Like, it's real hard work. Real hard work.
And when people are like, oh, I don't want to get bulky, I usually say something like, I do and I'm not, so like, don't worry about it. You'll be okay.
Yeah, do you know how long I've tried for bigger arms or just legs that aren't embarrassing when I'm in shorts?
You have dainty ankles.
You do
I
have
know.
very small
See?
ankles.
Look at this fucking crap. I pay them. You think I don't want that?
Yeah.
You don't think I've looked at all the possible ways
And
to get those bigger?
It doesn't work. And it's like, man.
I'm
Like,
just not that dude.
I would say, especially for women, I think you see them lean out before they get bigger again.
yeah,
So.
because Piper does CrossFit. Look, you can still see Piper's neck. Her biceps aren't blowing out of her sweatshirt. And she's done a couple CrossFit workouts.
Just a few.
Yeah, a few.
Again, we have big guys in here. We have small guys in here. We have every size. So
That's the
You'll
cool part
find the
is-
workout that you crush, depending on whether or not you're big or small.
it just started with special operation forces dudes doing CrossFit, and then we worked so hard to be accommodating
Yeah.
and welcoming.
And
Yeah.
now we're too accommodating.
And now it's and I won't say it, but like, guys don't come in here because it's like, oh, does your boyfriend work out there too? It's just like, yeah, he does. So
It's like I'll tell people like I am the fittest I've ever been doing this. I'm the leanest I've ever been doing this. Well, this isn't like currently. It's just like I've been the fittest. I've been the leanest. I've also been like not the biggest because I was a big old boy, but like the most like, oh, I want to be big like that. Like, and the only thing that really changed was what I was eating.
And maybe what I was focusing on. Maybe I would focus on my engine, or I'd focus on gymnastics, or I'd focus on. But for me, again, that's the fun part of CrossFit is I can change my focus any of these times. It doesn't mean you have to. You can just follow a general plan.
Yeah.
But for those of us that want to be competitive or develop skills, we're going to have mesocycles where we focus on different things, building the base of our pyramid. You know, it's nutrition, it's metabolic conditioning, it's gymnastics.
Ooh, that's a good topic for the next video.
Yeah.
Get that pyramid back here.
Mm-hmm.
So working through that. But just try CrossFit. You're going to get your ideal body type. And we can get some tweaks through diet and exercise, or diet and supplemental exercises to get you where you want. But you can get bigger, you can get smaller.
Do you feel like when we do Bring a Friend Week, it's mostly
Mostly
people
females,
bringing boyfriends?
I know our last round of Bring a Friend Week, like,
It was mostly women
it was
as well.
mostly women.
Yep.
I think the guys are either, and here are my two theories. Guys are either worried that, I'm going to do CrossFit, I'm going to lose all my gains.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or they're worried that they're going to go and get wrecked. They're like,
Yep.
man, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yep.
But everyone can do this. That's the best part about it.
And if you're that worried about your ego, you're right. CrossFit probably isn't for you.
Yeah, you can get hurt.
It's like, I love Bryce's attitude. He's like, oh, Kenzie's going to wreck me. I have
Oh, that's
no
great.
ifs, ands, buts about, or dreams of staying with her in this workout.
Yeah.
It's like my wife. Like, she just knows that she can't beat me in any workouts. And she's just accepted it.
So,
You're doing great over there.
transitioning over to snacks.
Snacks on snacks. So we asked the people, we asked you guys about some, like, you guys go-to healthy snacks or like quick meals. And for the most part, everyone had pretty solid answers. Now, I did want to point out one specific person.
I'm guessing your brother.
Yeah, so Dylan said Little Caesars Pizza, quick and easy. You're welcome. So that I had a little bit of a disagreement with. I wouldn't.
The whole pizza is like
Yeah, he didn't say how much. So
4,000.
I guess what I should be saying is be more specific. If you're eating the whole pizza, way to commit. If you're only eating half of it,
What works for Dylan might not work for everybody.
I'm going to say,
Dylan's got one of the fastest metabolisms.
if it fits
I've
your
ever seen.
macros.
it's nonsense. So he, just a quick overview, he can eat an entire Little Caesars pizza for every
Post-workout
meal
snack.
and still look the way he does.
He's
And if
so-
I look at him eating the pizza,
He's so lean.
I grow.
Yeah, everybody has always said I have a fast metabolism.
Yeah, you're both of you.
He makes mine look
Yeah,
slow.
yeah.
And I feel like he's the same way as you. He really wants to get big, so he eats a lot of food, but it's just, poor guy, is genetically disposed to not get big.
He has just got an incinerator in his stomach.
Gosh.
So yeah, for most everybody watching this, Little Caesars pizza is not going to be where it's at.
It also tastes like wet cardboard. A $5 hot
Ruining
dog.
our sponsorship opportunities. Little Caesars was watching this, and they were going to have us.
On a CrossFit podcast.
Hey, what? We've been sponsored by beer. Come on.
That's true.
That's true. I'll say, like I said, I'm looking through here. Like, for the most part, most of these are pretty good ideas. There are a couple that I wanted to kind of touch on and this is all. We don't want to. I don't want to call anyone out on any of this. I'm not gonna say anyone's name, but I do want to make sure everyone's kind of on the same page with some of these things.
And also, we don't know what your macros are,
Yeah.
most likely. So maybe it fits your macros. Maybe the snack that you wrote is your splurge snack.
Yeah.
And you eat boneless, flavorless chicken with rice or,
Every other meal.
no sauce on it. And that's your splurge. So no judgment. We're pointing out things where we see
possible
Potential for improvement.
potential, just
overeating, unintentional overeating.
yeah, that would be the big thing. So, and we have our little cheat board over here of the most common foods. I think these are just kind of the things
Yeah.
I saw. A couple people said yogurt, which, yes, there are yogurts that are a great quick snack.
Too Good is a great Greek yogurt because there's only 2 grams of sugar in each cup.
Too good. Never heard.
Really?
No, never heard.
I'm not a yogurt guy, so this is gonna be a
Well,
conversation.
yeah, it's a
for
Greek
y'all.
yogurt. I can't have them anymore because my
You little tummy.
yeah.
Tummy.
I go,
Mel
but
gets.
Too Good is great because it reduces that sugar
What do
intake.
we
It's
get?
really what it is.
It's like 0 Greek yogurt. It's got
Oh,
like
yeah, the
protein.
Oikos
Yeah,
one?
something
Yeah.
like that. So yogurt is good as long as you're going for the right stuff, because some of those yogurts in there you can get a little dangerous. Someone sent a picture, and that one I think was good. It was like the Greek yogurt, I think. Just the little cups.
On yogurt, kefir's really good with probiotics and prebiotics.
It's not really.
It doesn't
It's
taste
yucky.
terrible,
I
but it's
literally
really good for your
drank my
gut.
kefir yogurt this morning, and because I'm trying to fix my gut,
Yeah,
off alcohol again, trying to be better. But yeah, I drink.
It tastes terrible, but they're
kefir.
really
It's
good for you.
Not good. You get used to it, but it's just not my favorite
Plug
thing.
your
in the morning.
nose and throw it back, or put it in a protein drink is what, mix it with milk and then shake your protein into it.
What's the shoot? I meant to look up the what's the most popular yogurt? Just the normal
Yoplait?
stuff. Yoplait, yeah. Yoplait.
Oh, I used to eat that all the time. It's not very good for you.
So it, like in one thing
There's so much sugar.
of Yoplait, like you got to watch out, because what do we got here going on? 20 grams of sugar. So that's what we're talking about as far as right yogurt, wrong yogurt. If you go for your, what is it called, U2,
Too good?
Too Good Greek yogurt, we just say like no sugar. That's a great quick snack to grab. But if you're going for Yoplait, like that's an instant 20 grams of sugar. And if you're having that 2-3 times a day, that's where you run into trouble. So just make sure.
Especially if you think it's healthy.
Yeah. And then if you throw, and like granola's fine. And that kind of goes with the trail mix category, if you ask me. But
yeah, it depends on, yeah.
it's the same though. Yeah. Like what's the granola? So just make sure if you're getting those snacks, you're checking the back to make sure you're not getting, an extra 60 grams of sugar every time you eat your granola with your yogurt. I think that we've at least harassed our members enough about nutrition that they're at least kind of aware of the packaging.
Yeah, just
and
read,
checking it.
look for trans fats, saturated fat, sodium, and added sugar is really what people should pinpoint. Carbs, protein, like total fat is not a big thing to look at unless you're tracking your macros.
The other thing I'd say is just look at serving size.
Yeah.
If the serving size is complicated,
It's sketchy.
it's complicated for a reason.
Yeah.
Go ahead and walk away and choose another one where it's not.
I don't remember I think it's Dr. Pepper. If you look at a Dr. Pepper, like a bottle,
Yeah.
you read the ingredients and you're like, whoa,
17 servings.
There's a lot of sugar in this, but what you don't look at is the serving. I think there's 2 servings in a bottle.
Yeah.
So like a bottle of Dr. Pepper is like 60 or 70 grams of sugar. So yeah,
Which
definitely
you should
check
only
that.
try to consume 50 grams of added sugar or less. Most Americans are over 120.
Yeah. Instead of adding all that sugar, just drink a
Added
bunch
sugar
of those.
though, if it's naturally occurring.
I had
can't
too many
really
of
take
those
that.
yesterday.
Really?
Oh yeah, I can
Like
imagine.
600 milligrams of caffeine.
My heart will explode.
The other thing, so into granola is trail mix. So James bought a bag of trail mix yesterday for our ride, which was 13 hours. So I gave him a little grace. I'm like, okay, you're gonna eat your trail mix. Trail mix is one of those things where it's been advertised as healthy for so long. Healthy snack on the trail mix.
Yeah.
But you've got M&Ms, you got candy, you've got nuts, which are super high in calories, and usually a serving size of trail mix is like this much.
Barely.
So I don't want to say trail mix is not an okay snack, but 98% of people are not going to eat one serving, and that's where you get in trouble. It's the same with nuts. If you're like, oh, I can eat cashews or almonds because they're healthy. They are, unless you eat 9 servings at a time. And that's what I had to stop buying cashews because I was like, they're healthy. And then I would eat a bag of cashews.
Cashews were your go-to?
Cashews are the jam. Macadamia
Mr. Money
nuts.
Bags over here.
Man, you can get the unsalted, unroasted ones you can get a pretty sick deal on them.
Oh, they're like the most expensive nut because they're hard to harvest.
They're delicious. Macadamia nuts are the bomb.
Unsalted nuts are great fat though.
Great fat,
Good.
but again, be careful of serving size.
Copycat.
I know everything hurts, and I was like, man, that seems like it would feel good. It didn't. What do you got? What do you got on that? Trail mix, granola, things like that.
Unsalted nuts are great. We've learned from like communities of elderly people that consuming diets high in fish, like Mediterranean diets, high in fish, vegetables, cooked or uncooked, and unsalted nuts can be the key to longevity. But obviously in proper serving sizes.
So you're saying I shouldn't just live
Maybe
off of nuts?
don't eat 18 M&Ms and one almond and be like, I'm trail mix.
I'm healthy. That's what people are like, I make my own trail mix. And I'm like, bro, you just put M&Ms in a bag. Like, get out of here.
You buy ingredients and put it all together. So, like, I wouldn't say, like, I buy trail mix sometimes. Like, I've maybe brought it to a couple of the CrossFit comps I've done. But it's for, like, longevity. Eating for fuel.
Yeah.
If you are doing something like a 13-and-a-half-hour bike ride, that's fine. You need,
Don't do that.
Okay, well, but you can eat it.
So too bad.
Also on the list, protein bars. So we sell protein bars here. Are they the best thing that you should eat? No. Is it acceptable in a pinch? Yeah. Is it a better reward than some possible rewards? Yeah. Sure. Again, it's like everything. Look on the back of it.
Pretend it's
I had a friend ask me for protein bar recommendations. I wrote on Facebook and I was like, hey man, it's not the best macros that you've ever had. Compared to the other bars that he was getting recommended, though, it wasn't really bad. But I think just because they say it's like a protein bar doesn't mean it's not still a candy bar.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
A candy bar with a little added protein.
I say
Yeah.
protein isn't regulated by the FDA for claims on labeling, so people can just put high protein.
Yep.
Maybe there's like 1 gram more than normal for that item, that food item.
Usually
So
on a lot of stuff like that ends up being the case. Like there's some high protein peanut butter at Hy-Vee.
it's just got like 2 grams more
Yeah.
per serving.
And one day she was like, oh, we were like looking at it, she's like, high protein. And we grabbed it and we were like, it's like 2 extra grams
Yeah,
for like
and then there's
$8 extra.
more fat.
Yeah, and then
and-
more carbs and sugar.
Yeah.
So, protein bars.
I think normally if it says high protein or low sugar or zero fat, like
Yeah.
really,
You gotta check
really
it.
look
You
at it
gotta
because
check it, man.
there's
Nutrition
something else
claims
hidden
are-
in there that's going to be pretty awful for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, on your protein bars, I would say like in a pinch, yes, but always make sure you're checking that label. That's a blanket statement for this entire video.
Yeah.
It's just look at the label, man.
Yeah.
Look at the label. Know what you're
And if you
getting
can't find the label because it's a mix of something like a shake or a smoothie,
into. Oh man,
really,
we had a whole smoothie tangent the other day.
yeah,
That's actually how we got into the topic. Isn't
yeah.
it?
That's why we wanted to talk about it. And listen, is it better than going and getting some fast food?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And we have friends that love their shakes and smoothies, or that's their business. And I'm not trying to harm your business,
Throw stones.
but it's real hard to get a super healthy shake and smoothie.
So I look at smoothies and shakes kind of in the same category as like juices, where you're taking it's fruit. You're taking fruit, which is, we all know, pretty high in sugar, and then you're taking all the
Chewing and
fiber
digestion.
and
Yeah.
digestion out of it. So you're getting all the sugar
Yeah.
with none of the
Mainlining
benefits,
it.
and that's just if it's fruit.
Yeah.
That's if it's just fruit in there. We're not even talking about like adding a couple scoops of peanut butter, adding a little bit of chocolate syrup to spice it on up.
Oh,
like
yeah.
at the end of it, if you're adding all this fruit and all this extra stuff to make it taste good, man, there's probably better things you could get.
And again, if it fits your macros, it fits your macros. But you really that's one of the ones where I see a lot of people think, oh, I just had a shake or I just had a smoothie. And it's like, yeah, that shake or smoothie just had 120 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
Which is on the same line as Gatorade and like full sugar, Powerade.
Yeah.
Yep. And I don't want to say there aren't healthy shakes out there. I'm sure that there are some shakes that are good. We'll say not detrimental as opposed to most decisions, but yeah, a lot of those shakes you get real high sugar in that. And that's, again, if you're not adding other stuff.
Yeah, it's like if you go to like a coffee shop and they have a protein shake and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get that. It's probably like 600 calories.
You'd be better off just getting your Frappuccino, man.
Oh yeah.
100%, you're getting shot.
Yeah, at least then you get some caffeine.
Yeah.
Thermogenic benefit of at least like increasing your heart rate for a little bit to burn it.
We see a protein shake at a place, we'll say a place in town. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. And they would make it. And one day I was like asking him about how many servings of peanut butter you guys put in there. And the guy's like, oh, I don't know. We just use this spoon. And he held up like a ladle. I was like, bro, that's like 6 servings of peanut butter. That's like 1,000 freaking calories worth of peanut butter in the shake.
Yeah.
Just the peanut butter. So yeah. Be very aware.
Big brands like Smoothie King have all their recipes online. So just like if you're going with friends, be like, okay, what's actually in this?
Yeah.
64-ounce meal replacement smoothie that I'm about to throw down. Dude, they're huge. Have you ever seen the biggest size at Smoothie King? It's ridiculous.
And it's just, it's easier to drink. That which brings me to just liquid calories in and of itself. They're very easy to consume.
Yep. They don't make you full. They don't fill you up.
Even those fat smoothies, people still, there's like, we have to satiate your hunger or appetite. I guess appetite would be the right word for it. But we need to chew. Yeah. There's like a human compulsion to chew. So if you
chew your shake,
drink a meal if you drink a meal replacement smoothie, your body will still be like, okay, well, we need to eat something, which will then lead. Even if you had only planned to drink that smoothie for lunch, you'll probably end up snacking more than usual.
It's I've talked with people before on nutrition, and we get into the soda discussion, and soda is very much like religion. Like, you got to be careful because some people are pretty hardcore about their sodas. Gosh darn it. If there was one thing, if you're like, man, I really need to just lose weight, that's probably the biggest thing.
Drink diet sodas.
I'll take it, or like zero, those zeros and stuff. Like,
we don't know a lot about sugar alternatives, which is what is in diets. Zeros don't have any added sugar alternatives, or they only have 1 instead of like 14, so they can be considered to be a little bit healthier for your gut.
Yeah, go zero. Coke Zero's pretty. I had one last night.
I prefer the taste of Diet Coke, but Coke Zero.
After that, man, I told James that the only thing getting me through this is the thought of that Coke Zero and that Hoo Hot.
Yeah, we do have Coke Zero at Hoo Hot.
That was the bomb.
Come to Hoo Hot.
Get out of here.
They owe
us $50,000 now.
They owe us sponsorship.
So be careful of your sodas and your.
If you have to have something that doesn't taste like water, just so much better for you for your whole life if you drink. Maybe not these.
Slamming 4 a day.
Yeah, like Diet Cokes and stuff like that.
Mio.
Mio's good. Watch for the ones with added caffeine though, because if you
zippy
throw in 3 tablespoons into your drink, I think you're gonna be off the walls.
Yeah. Sports drinks, beers, all that.
Beers, sports drinks. Yeah, you group those together.
Yeah, the same.
Other thing up there that we didn't talk about: brown versus white rice, vegan crap, which is how I feel about it.
Yep.
I'll just be right up. And dried fruit. We've already hammered fruit.
Yeah.
With shakes and smoothies.
For dried fruit specifically, the added sugar thing, which is what we talked about. But
some of them are like dusted with sugar.
Yeah. In heat processing, fruits and vegetables can lose vitamin and mineral, like solubility. You might not be able to digest Like if you cook spinach, the phytic acid in spinach breaks down some of the minerals that are in it, so you don't actually take in any, like copper I think is in it and zinc, but your body can't digest any of it because of the phytic and oxalic acid that is released when you cook it. That's my major. That's stuff that I learned about.
Exciting.
That sounds super fun.
Whenever fruit and vegetables get heat processed, it's not terrible, but just understand that you lose some of the components that you get from eating
That's
fresh
the same,
fresh
that phytic acid, is that the same thing in Brussels sprouts? That, because one of my friends told me
Make it delicious.
when you cut them in half, it releases something,
Yes.
and it makes them more flavorful.
Yes. Yeah, so cooking enhances the flavor because the surface area, all of it gets covered in something, and it breaks chemical bonds. That's what heat does. But it can reduce, it's just like fiber. It can reduce the, like what your body can take in through your small intestine.
Interesting.
So
wild
eat
how
everything
all that
raw.
works.
You heard it here first.
Not everything. It's not a
everything.
big deal.
Blanket statement.
But
Everything raw.
just understand that you lose some of the vitamin and mineral
Stop
compounds.
cooking your chicken.
Oh, God.
Oh,
As
no.
just
Cook
kidding.
your chicken.
Cook
That was
your
a
chicken,
JK.
please.
Don't do that.
But vegan-ish.
Yeah, so that was the dried fruit. So then that leaves brown versus white rice.
Brown versus white is super simple. It doesn't matter.
White is often considered a high glycemic index food. It's because people eat it in copious amounts.
Yeah, I do eat some silly quantities of white rice every now and
I
then.
say usually it doesn't have any added sugar. If you eat it at restaurants, it might.
Yeah.
If you eat anything at restaurants, it's
Yeah,
probably got
it's
added
loaded
sugar.
with everything. Cooked in lard.
It's like the difference between brown and white is what, like 1 or 2 grams of fiber, I think, something like
per
that.
serving. A negligible amount if you get your fiber from another source.
And I'm going to tell you, based off of taste alone, white's better. It's
Yeah, so-
just like the brown rice.
Basically, just don't feel guilt trip if you want white.
Yeah, if
white
you want
rice.
white rice, just
100%.
make
It's
it.
probably not changing
People get-
anything in your life. If you're choosing between rice, we're okay.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Oh yeah, that's the least of our concern. Like,
Yeah.
hey man, just as long as you're not eating 13 ounces of rice, like you'd be all right. Last thing, so I wrote vegan-ish crap, but that also goes with like keto stuff, like
Frozen meals
everything now is like, oh, it's keto, oh, it's vegan, it's gluten-free, like detox. They put all, and like you said, like they don't, the FDA doesn't really get involved. They don't regulate that. So like I could make a product that's just garbage, and as long as it didn't have animal products, I can market vegan. And then some people see that and they're like, oh, it's vegan, it's healthy.
Oreos are vegan. That's a perfect
Beer's
example.
vegan. French fries are vegan.
Well, it's like I had years ago when keto was a thing.
French fries aren't vegan.
I know McDonald's aren't.
I was like,
Because
McDonald's
what they're
French fries
fried
aren't
in.
French fries.
Yeah,
Like
they have milk.
But years ago, like when I was doing keto, I had a buddy that was like, "Oh, I'm doing keto too," and I was like, "Dope. What do you eat most of the time?" He's like, "Oh, I'll go to Wendy's, and I'll get a Baconator, but I'll take the buns off." I'm like, "You're not wrong, but like." So,
I get like keto people on TikTok, and it's just ridiculous. They're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna eat half a stick of butter for breakfast." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Well, it's like, and like years ago when paleo was a huge thing. I was like, man, okay, this makes sense to me. And then I would hear about people like, oh, for breakfast I had 7 pounds of bacon. Like, you had 7 pounds of bacon, but I can't have some oatmeal for breakfast. Like, you need to get out of my face with that. So all of these, like you said, buzzwords, all these like, I don't want to say fad diets, but all these like keto, vegan, paleo,
Fix your life
gluten-free.
in 14 days.
Yeah, all those products, they're still food. They still have calories, and you still need to check the back of them, because if you look at a lot of those products, like they're not, like you'd be better off just not doing keto and not eating that crap. Like, and
It also comes down to, with diets like that, what's sustainable? Are you going to be paleo for the rest of your life? Maybe, yeah. And so then, the weight that you lose from being paleo will probably stay off. But are you keto to try to, get reduce your risk of diabetes, and then you go back to eating carbs, you're gonna probably gain that weight back, and then you're gonna be like, well, what did I do it for? I don't know. Good question.
As someone who's done keto, so how many times have we done keto? Half dozen at least?
Yeah.
Half dozen times.
Well, like 4 times.
Usually it was for something. Like
Yeah.
I have a long race, I have a Spartan race or whatever it was. And that seemed to be the most beneficial way to not have to carry a bunch of gels and snacks and things on me. You will, 100%. If you do keto, or every time I've done keto, sorry, I'll just say from personal experience, I have gained the weight back as soon as I put carbs back in, which is okay, because I knew that was going to happen. So if you're on one of those diets, just know that if it's for a period of time and then you get off of it, chances are you're going to not gain back everything, but it's going to happen. So you just got to be careful.
Yeah, everything that we've talked about today, eat it if you want it. Maybe you're really craving a chocolate whipped Yoplait.
Yeah, man.
That's just your jam. Maybe eat it. You're like, one Saturday in fucking July. You're like, I really want this right now.
No, not July. Don't eat it in July. Eat it in.
Go to
eat it in
Andy's.
July.
Go to Andy's. Get a root beer float. Do whatever you want. With restriction comes compulsion to overeat. So understand that, like, you gotta have a day where you're like, okay, I'm gonna eat a fat burger from a restaurant, so it's cooked in lard and rolled in sugar. But
Sounds like a disgusting burger.
Maybe don't do all that, but hey, at one time.
yeah,
but I
enjoy
think-
what you eat.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're just educating, giving you knowledge. Just because somebody or something said it was healthy doesn't mean it is. They have an incentive to tell you that it's healthy because it's sales.
Everything can be healthy in moderation.
Yeah. Just if it fits your plan. And then lastly, we're not your medical professionals. So make sure you are consulting with them before you undergo any change, as Andrew Huberman says.
And the CrossFit nutrition course.
Yeah, we're just 3 people up here trying to help you make better decisions.
3 cool people up here.
So that's all we've got for today. Next week in the gym. And then we'll do Hero Watt of our choice on Saturday. Gym will be closed on Memorial Day.
Bring a friend.
And then it will be Bring a Friend Week on the 30th. And I will actually start posting again. I've been sick the last week, so it was pretty much just bare minimum energy expenditure for this guy.
Yeah.
I hibernate like a bear when I feel bad, so I think I've gotten
Is that why?
Is that the aggregate logo? Is
Yeah.
that why we?
Joe
Yeah.
been sick.
about 100 hours of sleep the last couple of days, so it's been nice. But yeah, all right, like, subscribe, share with a friend.
Yeah, send this to your friends. Your friends need to see this. And us. Your friends need to see us.